This is the second-generation Volvo XC60, a premium midsize SUV that places a high emphasis on safety equipment, user-friendliness and technology, on sale in the UK from 2017. Rival models include the Audi Q5, BMW X3, Mercedes-Benz GLC Class and Volkswagen Touran, though those looking for a similar experience on a lower budget might also consider looking at Škoda's latest SUV offerings, the Kodiaq and the Kodiaq. The previous XC60 was launched in 2008, and quickly became not only Volvo's best-selling model, but also the best-selling vehicle in its class across Europe. To say that this is an important car for the Swedish brand would be a serious understatement. XC60 MK2 needs to be good. And it is. From the scaled-down XC90 exterior design to the luxurious, high-technology interior, it feels every bit the modern family accessory. The engines are refined, the ride is comfortable, and performance is brisk throughout the range. It also features more standard safety equipment than any of its rivals, and a distinct image that projects a warm, cutting-edge image without the aggression of some of the German alternatives. Volvo XC60 trim levels and standard equipment. There are three main trim levels: Momentum, R-Design and Inscription, though each one can be further enhanced by a bespoke Pro package, which adds specific extra kit. Regardless, equipment specification is comprehensive throughout, with every version of the XC60 sold in the UK fitted with an 8-speed automatic gearbox and all-wheel drive as standard. And that's just for starters. Also included on every single model are leather upholstery, LED headlights, 2-zone climate control, heated front seats, powered tailgate, 9.0-inch sensors, touchscreen infotainment with sat-nav, Volvo City Safety with steer assist. This last is an autonomous emergency braking system, which now detects pedestrians, cyclists and large animals as well as other vehicles. The original XC60 was the first production car to feature AB technology. New for the second-gen model is steer assist, which aims to reduce accident severity by helping the driver to take emergency avoidance action. What engines are available in the Volvo XC60? The XC60 is available with three conventional engine options, a choice of 190 horsepower D4 or 235 horsepower D5 diesel, the former the projected bestseller, the latter featuring Power Pulse technology, and a 254 horsepower T5 petrol. Advice: should I pick petrol or diesel? Each of these engines is a 2.0-litre, 4-cylinder unit with at least one turbocharger, while Power Pulse on the D5 uses compressed air to help the turbos get going at lower speeds, increasing responsiveness. At the top of the XC60 range sits the T8 twin engine. Combining a powerful 2.0-litre turbocharged petrol engine with a plug-in hybrid electric motor drive system, this promises strong performance as well as tax-friendly CO2 and fuel economy figures. The verdict: the XC60 is an excellent choice for a family SUV. It combines a high standard of safety equipment with a modern design and very good ride comfort. While some rivals are more fun from behind the wheel, few challenge this Volvo as an overall package, and it would certainly have a place near the top of our shortlist. For everything you need to know about the Volvo XC60, continue reading the full review. Photography and videography. Matt Vosp. Engine choice: limited but powerful. Fastest model is the T8 plug-in hybrid D5 diesel. Very smooth and responsive. The Volvo XC60 is not a vehicle you are likely to buy for its high-performance capability. Nonetheless, the engine lineup offers plenty of poke for your pound. Confused whether to pick petrol or diesel? Click here for our guide. Even the entry-level D4 diesel provides 190 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque, though by modern standards this peak is relatively narrow, existing from 1,750 to 2,500 revolutions per minute. With four-wheel drive and quick shifting 8-speed auto as standard, it still does 0 to 62 miles per hour in 8.4 seconds, which is commendably swift. Top speed is 127 miles per hour. However, the combination of the heavy all-wheel drive system and self-shifting gearbox mean that the XC60 doesn't always feel as responsive as you'd expect. Step up to the D5 diesel and you get 235 horsepower and 480 Nm thanks to the addition of a second turbocharger. Although the pulling power peak narrows further still to 1,750 to 2,250 revolutions per minute, this takes a 1.2 seconds off the D4's 0 to 62 miles per hour time, achieving the sprint in just 7.2 seconds. The D5's top speed is 136 miles per hour. The T5 turbo petrol accelerates faster still, with 254 horsepower and 350 Newton meters, 1,500 to 4,800 revolutions per minute. This does 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.8 seconds. Top speed matches the D5 at 136 miles per hour. The very quickest XC60, however, is the T8 plug-in hybrid. Combining a more powerful 2.0-liter four-cylinder turbo petrol engine with an electric motor, this achieves a total system power output of 407 horsepower and 640 Newton meters, enough for 0 to 62 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds and 143 miles per hour flat out. Which XC60 engine is best? We're yet to drive the T8 plug-in, but we're taken with the diesels, especially the D5. It makes an excellent first impression. Not only is it very smooth, it also responds to your right foot exceptionally quickly for a diesel. That power pulse technology at work, with almost no sense of lag from the twin turbochargers at all. Indecisive transmission. The 8-speed automatic gearbox isn't quite as convincing. With so many ratios to choose from, it never quite seems to be able to make up its mind which gear it should be in, with an irritating habit of changing them in the middle of corners. Neither petrol nor diesel models feel completely matched with the transmission. Paddle shifters would help with this indecisiveness, allowing the driver to take momentary control when required, but Volvo doesn't fit them as standard on every model. Instead, you are forced to use the less intuitive gear selection lever. The small paddle shifters that are available, though, are discreet but effective for taking manual control from time to time. The XC60 does feature a choice of driving modes, however, which allows you to influence the engine response, the gearbox programming and, where fitted, the air suspension and adaptive dampers. For more information, see the handling section below. Clever air suspension option but quite a bit of body roll. Not a sporty car to drive. There are 3 suspension systems available on the Volvo XC60, a standard conventional setup, as fitted to Momentum and Inscription models, a sportier design version of this that features 30% stiffer springs and thicker anti-roll bars, and an optional air suspension system that also includes adaptive dampers. At this stage we have only been able to try the XC60 with the adaptive air suspension fitted. Volvo XC60 air suspension. This offers a choice of comfort and dynamic driving modes. Fitted to the D5 diesel, we found both selections more than comfortable enough on the smooth Spanish roads of the launch event. In practice this meant that we spent almost all of the time driving the XC60 in dynamic mode, since in comfort we found the body control too soft during even moderately spirited driving. It even remains quite pitchy in the dynamic setting if you try to go a bit quicker, rolling around in the corners to such an extent that you soon decide to slow down. This despite the fact that dynamic not only stiffens the suspension, it also lowers the car by some 20 mm to reduce the center of gravity. Should you really want to take your XC60 off-road, the system can also raise the suspension by 40 mm. Rivals more fun? Rivals such as the Audi Q5 and BMW X3 certainly offer a more rewarding driving experience in the corners. Still, with all-wheel drive as standard, the XC60 has more than enough traction to deal with the strength of its engines, and in compensation for the slightly relaxed attitude to cornering you do get plenty of ride comfort. In contrast to the D5 diesel, we have also sampled a T6 petrol version of the XC60. This 320 horsepower engine, the same as that fitted alongside the electric motor in the T8 hybrid, is not set to be sold as a standalone model in the UK. We mention it because we found the chassis of the T6 to feel somewhat tighter and less prone to rolling around than the D5, even though both cars were fitted with the air suspension option. We suspect this is due to the additional weight of the diesel engine over the front wheels, and this is borne out driving the Volvo XC60 extensively on UK roads. Exceptionally modern yet user-friendly inside, most responsive touchscreen of any car? User interface still requires some thought. Since the introduction of the XC90 in 2015, Volvo has successfully established a strikingly unique interior design language, which uses bold, high-quality materials alongside modern technology. It manages to be warm, user-friendly and distinctly Scandinavian, and has become one of the primary reasons for purchasing the latest generation of Volvo cars. The XC60 fully reinforces this trend, with an attractive yet simple dashboard that still incorporates intricate details, such as the Swedish flag in the metal trim piece that cleverly hides the joint between the plastic and wooden elements on the front. Is the XC60 interior high quality? Taken on its own, it exudes premium quality, especially as your eyes are immediately drawn to the central 9.0-inch Sensus infotainment display, with its unusual, but logical, portrait orientation. It's only in comparison with the more expensive XC90 that you'll particularly notice areas where costs have been more tightly controlled, the slightly flimsy feeling glove box lid, for example. What is Volvo's Sensus system like to use? The Sensus system is, arguably, the best touchscreen available in any car. The screen itself offers tablet computer levels of responsiveness, and the second-generation user interface featured in the XC60 shows a clear progression in Volvo's thinking, using larger tile-style icons to make it easier to operate on the move. It still takes a little while to understand how you access some of the more detailed settings, however, and we remain to be convinced that a touchscreen is a safer mode of operating minor controls than sensibly laid out buttons. Other driving enhancing options: Volvo also offers a crisp, bright head-up display as an optional extra, which gives the driver line-of-sight notification of things like speed limits and road signs. It works well, as all such systems do. Additionally, our design and inscription models get a fully digital 12.3-inch gauge cluster, similar to that used by Volkswagen and Audi. This means you can have the sat-nav map displayed right ahead of you, allowing passengers to play with the radio or other media apps on the central Sensus screen without the risk of missing your next turning. Volvo XC60 driving position with a substantial range of adjustment in the steering column for both reach and rake, and very ergonomically proficient seats. It is easy to find a comfortable driving position in the XC60. Long journeys should hold no fear. Soft suspension means a comfortable ride, while isolated engines mean good refinement. Some wind noise at speed. Tested on the optional air suspension system, the XC60 is a comfortable car. It absorbs bumps well, even on 20-inch alloy wheels, and Volvo has made a point of doing some of its development work in the UK because it understands the particular challenge of our road surfaces. Unfortunately, we have not been able to try the standard or R-design suspension for comparison. Tests of these will follow in due course. Expect the R-design, which features sports suspension, to be the firmest choice. Volvo XC60 refinement. Cabin refinement is another XC60 strong point. The only time you're reminded that you're driving a diesel in the D5, for example, is when accelerating hard from low speeds. Cruising on the motorway is a hushed affair. Although we did detect a little wind noise from around the door mirrors, it's easy to hold a normal conversation. Unseemly vibrations are a non-issue in our experience with the XC60 thus far. Very well equipped, as standard 3 trim levels become 6 with Pro specification Apple CarPlay and Android Auto still extra in the not-so-distant past. Premium car makers have been guilty of charging extra for every conceivable option. We're pleased to report that is not the case with the Volvo XC60, which comes loaded with equipment as standard. All of the below is included on the entry-level Momentum specification: all-wheel drive 8-speed automatic gearbox, leather upholstery, LED headlights with active high-beam dual-zone climate control, heated front seats, powered tailgate, 18-inch alloy wheels. In addition to this, all XC90s are fitted with Volvo's latest Sensus infotainment system, which features a 9.0-inch tablet-style touchscreen in portrait rather than widescreen orientation, satellite navigation with lifetime annual map updates and real-time traffic information, RTTI, Bluetooth, DAB radio, USB connectivity and voice control. Pay extra for a SIM card, and it gives you onboard Wi-Fi as well. A large number of safety items are also fitted as standard on every XC60, but we cover these separately in the safety section. Next step on the XC60 ladder is the sporty R-design trim. This adds 19-inch alloy wheels, sports suspension, sports seats finished in leather and nubuck, high-gloss black front grille, matte silver and high-gloss exterior detailing, 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster at the top of the XC60 range's inscription specification, which includes Napa leather electric front seat adjustment with ventilation, different 19-inch alloys, chrome exterior detailing, rear footwell and side step illumination, 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. Each model is also distinguished by its own grille, bumpers and exhaust design. In addition to this, each trim level can be upgraded with a Pro package. Momentum Pro adds powered front seats, heated steering wheel, heated windscreen, heated wiper blades, headlight washers, front fog lights, Volvo On Call, a smartphone app that gives you remote access to many of the car's functions. Our Design Pro features the above plus 21-inch alloy wheels, electronic air suspension with adaptive dampers, upgraded lights, tailored instrument panel, inscription Pro contrasts with 20-inch alloys for slightly better ride comfort, electronic air suspension with adaptive dampers, massaging front seats, tailored instrument panel. As if all that wasn't enough, you can also option XC and EM pack on all grades, which includes a power sliding panoramic glass sunroof, 360-degree parking camera and an automatic parking system. Further tempting options include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for full smartphone integration, a powerful 1,100 watts Bowers & Wilkins Hi-Fi with 15 speakers, and a 4-zone climate control system. Strangely, you do have to pay extra for keyless go on all grades. Built to be one of the safest cars ever, vast array of active safety technology, still a long way from a self-driving car. Volvo has built its reputation on safety, and that isn't about to change with the XC60, which it unabashedly describes as one of the safest cars ever made. No surprise that it achieved one of the highest scores of any car when crash tested by Euro NCAP at the end of 2017. The company claims it has the best standard safety specification of any rival. This includes 7 airbags, electronic stability control and Volvo City Safety as just the highlights. Standard active safety systems on the Volvo XC60 standard fit. Volvo City Safety is an autonomous emergency braking system, which recognizes not just other vehicles but also pedestrians, cyclists and large animals. It also features steer assist, which is designed to help drivers execute emergency avoidance maneuvers, with the aim of lessening or altogether avoiding low-speed impacts. It's active from 31 miles per hour to 62 miles per hour. Furthermore, a system called oncoming lane mitigation is also fitted as standard. This is designed to guide you back into the correct lane if you've accidentally wandered across into the path of oncoming traffic. This is active from 37 miles per hour to 87 miles per hour. A similar system operates to guide you back onto the road if it detects you're about to drive onto the verge. Should this still somehow happen, the also standard run off-road protection kicks in with the aim of reducing the severity of accidents where the car leaves the road entirely, partly by tightening the front seat belts to restrain your movements, partly though a collapsible seat structure intended to absorb spine-threatening impacts. Optional active safety systems on the Volvo XC60. Looking for more protection? Volvo also offers optional blind spot monitors, called the Blind Spot Information System, with steering capability, again with the aim of guiding you back out of danger. Beyond this lies Pilot Assist. Described as a semi-autonomous system, really this is just a sophisticated adaptive cruise control system that can also offer minor steering inputs. The system is designed to assist, rather than drive for you, so you'll find that while it will steer itself along roads with clear lane markings for short periods, it doesn't do so very smoothly. It functions up to 80 miles per hour. Other safety-related options include a head-up display and park assist. How many ISOFIX car seats can I fit in a Volvo XC60 SUV? The XC60 has 2 ISOFIX mounts, one on each of the outer rear seats. Roomy for its size, front and rear boot space is practical. T8 hybrid has limited impact on space. The Volvo XC60 offers generous seating space for 4. There are 5 seatbelts, but anyone relegated to the middle rear seat will be fighting those on either side for elbow and shoulder room. This will be okay for younger children, but not so great for older teenagers or adults. There is plenty of legroom, though again the middle rear seat gets the short straw due to the central transmission tunnel. Headroom shouldn't be an issue unless you're transporting a team of basketball players, and that's even with the optional panoramic glass roof. Will it fit in my garage? As a midsize SUV, the XC60 is taller than conventional cars, but doesn't take up that much more room on the road. With the high seating position, it's relatively easy to maneuver in tight spaces. If you want to make life easier in this regard, don't hesitate to option the 360-degree camera system, which cleverly gives you a top-down perspective on your surroundings, allowing you to see curbs and other obstacles very clearly. There's no excuse for not parking straight where this is fitted. Want more help still? Then go for Park Assist, which will automatically park the XC60 in both parallel and 90-degree spaces. Will my luggage fit? While the boot lip is rather high, as is typical for an SUV, the XC60 has a large, practical boot space that's accessed via a powered tailgate, standard on every model in the UK. The rear seats feature headrests that automatically fold out of the way when you lower them. You can even press a button in the Sensus infotainment system to drop the headrests remotely, though we can see no practical reason for this when there's a set of buttons in the boot that do this and lower the seat backs at the same time. Where the air suspension is fitted, you'll find another pair of buttons alongside this that make the XC60 squat down so you don't have to lift your luggage as high to get it in. When the rear seats are folded, they leave a flat, if high, boot floor that rises slightly towards the front of the cabin. A special boot mat is available that unfolds to protect both the rear seat backs and the bumper. Because the XC60 was designed to be a hybrid from the start, the T8 model causes no reduction in boot space since the batteries for the electric motor are housed in the central tunnel. You will find the cup holders above it are slightly shallower, however. While the boot lip is rather high, as is typical for an SUV, the XC60 has a large, practical boot space that's accessed via a powered tailgate, standard on every model in the UK. The rear seats feature headrests that automatically fold out of the way when you lower them. You can even press a button in the Sensus infotainment system to drop the headrests remotely, though we can see no practical reason for this when there's a set of buttons in the boot that do this and lower the seat backs at the same time. Where the air suspension is fitted, you'll find another pair of buttons alongside this that make the XC60 squat down so you don't have to lift your luggage as high to get it in. When the rear seats are folded, they leave a flat, if high, boot floor that rises slightly towards the front of the cabin. A special boot mat is available that unfolds to protect both the rear seat backs and the bumper. Because the XC60 was designed to be a hybrid from the start, the T8 model causes no reduction in boot space since the batteries for the electric motor are housed in the central tunnel. You will find the cup holders above it are slightly shallower, however.